Welcome to another episode of the Friday Podcast, number 67. Man. And it's late, but better late than never. It was a chaotic week. I'm going back to work after a couple weeks off. You know, it's never easy. But we blessed, we alive, we breathing. Happy New Year. So that first day back, I went to work. I saw a cardinal, and it was the scene. It was right there on the edge of the curb, and then in front of it was like this bush that had little red berries. And so I saw the cardinal right there as I'm driving and hitting the turn, heading to work on that first day back. And I knew that was the sign. And then I also realized it was a sign that it was going to be a great day. But I also realized, and I don't know if you can tell, but my head is super shiny because I'm using a different light today. Oh my God, it's so bright. So I realized, okay, I did Blue Jays, Hawks, Woodpeckers. I haven't gone over Cardinals. And I see those in very particular situations when my mind is on somebody or something. So I decided I'm gonna do Cardinals today. And what's even more interesting is I drew a cardinal, like a logo of a cardinal for my job. And that was another just like, okay, I need to do Cardinals on the next one. I also saw a single ant, which I feel like is rare, because usually when you see an ant, you see like a path of ants, you know, like a highway. You see them like working and there's a bunch of them. So I feel like it's rare to see a loose one. And the other day I saw a loose one in my room, so I was like, all right, let me look that up. The angel number is a new kind. But similar to the old ones. As I was doing the old number, I'm gonna do the one number. Like for instance, today will be 717, which if you see on the clock is 717. But it's an interesting number because it's similar to the 707. It's the same backwards and forwards. And whereas the O represented something, the 1 will represent something else. So I'm interested in seeing what those angel numbers are like, with the 1s in the middle. And then for the badass women of herstory, this time it's a Muslim lady who was the creator of the first university ever. So I hope you're ready to learn. And also, of course, I'm gonna ask myself some questions from the book, which I'm looking for right now. I just found it. And maybe a bit more Yoda. So welcome. Sit back, relax, pull your yak, smoke that backwood. Was good. All right, so first things first. Questions with the king. Just kidding. All right. So this, I like this one. I just went to a random page, and I like the first one that I saw that hasn't been answered. What is your favorite thing to eat for breakfast that is not considered breakfast? Chips. Definitely chips. I mean, chips will get me going. Salt and vinegar chips, chili cheese Fritos. If I have to, I'll resort to some Fritos. But if I have to, I'll resort to Cheetos, different flavors of Doritos, popcorn, any kind of chip. is the shits. Any time of day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever. What would you do differently if you knew nobody would judge you? I would be on stage all the time. Whether it be for music, comedy, I'd be promoting everywhere. If I thought that nobody would judge me for anything, I would be putting myself out there probably a lot more. How are you still similar to your younger self? I still have incredible dreams. My head is in the clouds. I'm always digging deeper behind the meaning of things. I like doing my own research, and it depends on what younger self we're talking about. If we're talking about 10 years ago, well, that was 2012, and it's a different time. I still want to be a father. A good father, a great father. So that's similar. Hold on. Let me see if there's water in this cup for the first. Just a little bit. So the fact, that my artist desires are still the same as when I was younger. What historical figure would you love to see in 21st century life? First thing comes to mind is Jesus, because there was a show called Black Jesus, and he was like in modern times. I only seen a couple clips. It was pretty funny. So Jesus would be one. Who else? George Washington, maybe. He would be pretty cool, right? Who else? What else? I don't know. Historical figures: Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., John F. Kennedy. Any of those. Bob Marley would be cool to see. Jimi Hendrix in the 21st century. Wait, are we in the 22nd century? No. I don't even know. What or who brings your wild side to life? Liqueur. The alcohol. What is something that is possible today, which 20 years ago would seem impossible? Well, fuck. 2002, I never thought it'd be possible to have a camera on a phone with everything on here so that I can record podcasts and shit. 2002, I was in middle school, probably like 8th grade. It was a different time. But the whole being able to record quality stuff without a camera wasn't available at that time. It seemed impossible. Do you give money to street performers? Well, where I live, there's not really street performers, and I don't really go to downtown. So I would say no. But if I see a veteran or something, which I've talked about before, or somebody who looks like they could use help, and if I just happen to have some change, I might give them some change. On a hot summer day, what cools you off? Water, man. Straight up cold ice water, and the AC, obviously. What else would cool me off? What question are you always asked that offends you or upsets you? I can't think of any questions that I always get asked that offend me. When I was a kid, people would ask me why you got pimples, I guess. And I guess that would offend me or upset me as a child. But now as an adult, I don't know, maybe, no. Maybe when people say, how come you don't have a girlfriend? We're like, shit, I don't know, man. Because I don't know. Let me skip another one. What's your favorite sport beginning with the letter S? I mean, what sports are there besides soccer? Let's start with an S. Snowboarding starts with S. Skateboarding starts with an S. Skiing. And I haven't been. I like skateboarding because my son is good at it. I used to play soccer, but I wasn't great at it, and I wasn't a big fan of it. What's skee ball? I'm not sure what skee ball is. Is that the one where you with the round things at Chicken Cheese? I'm not sure. I never was a good skater. What else starts with an S that's a sport? Stripper. I mean, I think that's a cool sport for women to do, but I couldn't be one. But that could be my favorite sport. Summer Olympics. Yeah, about to bust the flow. You already know, man. I've always been cold like Sub-Zero, below zero, and it's frozen. Man, I'm chosen. I'm so hard, like I'm stoned, and man, they come phoning. Like that boy E.T., would it be CXB? I keep it so G. Running through the D, G land, OG, what it be? 33, coming up, what it, fell off the fucking flow. Fell off the damn flow. Puff and drove, sipping on some old whiskey, getting frisky. Ain't risky. Alright. Shout out to 3,000 questions about me. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's do a Yoda. Motorola. Old school. Flashback. Hope you leave, you get your cash back. Rat-a-tat-tat. Alright. Awakening your potential. Put yourself in another's shoes. Yo, that is hard to do. I had to do it today. And I'm glad I did though. Look beyond your own concerns to see things from someone else's perspective. A little empathy goes a long way. Especially if you've made a strange journey from stormtrooper to resistance hero. Why did the music stop? Well, it's the speaker. I need a new speaker, guys. But don't think you know it all, Chris. Taking a hard look at how stable kids survive on a glittering casino planet can help you see that life there is not all fun and games. You'll soon realize that you're not the center of the galaxy. Oh yeah. And I forgot that Bobby Lee was on Star Wars. Nah, I'm just kidding. Anyway, Rose said, look closer. That's Bobby Lee. I love you. I'm a huge fan. No offense. So, put yourself in another's shoes. That's something we gotta do every single day when somebody verbally attacks us or we think they are. Be more Yoda. I saw they also have Be More Loki, but he wants to be like Loki. We all want to be like Yoda. All right. Let's see. I'm going to take a break and we'll come back and do our regular programming sections. Stay tuned. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. And today we will be talking about the first spiritual possible meaning of seeing random ants in your house. Now, of course, the obvious reason that you're seeing ants, if it's multiple ants, is because you've got fucking food or some shit. What I'm talking about, one single solo, tiny, little ant, just randomly. Okay, so this is possible spiritual meaning to that. If you're looking for something like that, it might be chaotic. So, according to, where did I get this from? From whatismyspiritanimal.com/spiritum totem power animal meanings, but it has dashes and shit. Okay, now ants live. Just a little backstory in case you don't know, but you probably know. Ants live in every corner of the earth. What's that? Every corner of the earth. In many regions, there's no corners. If the earth is round, what are you talking about? Website. In many regions, they represent willpower, diligence, patience, tenacity, endurance, fidelity, cooperation, truthfulness. I don't know what fidelity is. And power. Ants in nature have amazing strength considering their very small size. In fact, they can carry over 20 times their own weight. That means that a 200-pound person with an ant's strength could lift a ton. And a ton doesn't mean just a bunch of shit. No, a ton is a weight. And I'm assuming that, I don't know how much a ton, at least like a mid-sized elephant is a ton. Maybe a full-size elephant. I'm not quite sure. That's why Ant-Man is so dope. But he doesn't have that kind of, I don't know. Ants hear by having sensitivity to vibrations. They teach us to keep our instincts keen. They also leave an aromatic trail wherever they go. I didn't know that. Which helps them find their way home. So along the way, they're farting and shit. And then, you know, they go back to like, this is what my fart was. I can find my way back home. In this, ant spirit is a trailblazer and a guide. In the Philippines, shout out to Rudy from Bad Friends, ants coming into the house bring prosperity with their arrival. All right. I was gonna make a joke. They probably got a lot of ants in their house. I'm just kidding, but maybe not. I love. Shout out to the Philippines. The Bible depicts ant as a harmonious creature who works collectively with others. Islamic traditions say the ant taught Solomon the ways of wisdom. Oh, I didn't know that. And in India, treating an ant with kindness ensures prosperity. Shouldn't have killed the ant that was here. Leaving a bit of sugar near an anthill is an act of charity that attracts luck. I don't know where that's from. Native American stories represent the ant as a cooperative, hard-working spirit. Ants spread soil across the earth for humans. Among Californian tribes, ants are earthquake predictors. Shamans tell us that the ant teaches that all good things come to those with patience and trust in their hearts. The Pima, I don't know what that, P-I-M-A with the capital P, have two clans named after the ant. The Red Ant Clan, it's hard to say, and the White Ant Clan. Cherokees have a ceremonial ant dance. Native American outlook on ant medicine is all about slowing down. The more we hurry, the more we miss. Working with the tribe cooperatively with serenity in our pockets is part of what will help put us back in balance with nature. Ant calls us to unity and tireless effort. Hopi myths speak of the ant people. In the World Age, or First World, life ended in fire, and the Second World was destroyed by ice. In both cases, the Hopi were guided to the ant people, who took them to some underground caves for safety. The ant people gave the Hopi food and taught them how to store food and how to store it. Some believe this led to the creation of the Kiva community prayer spaces. The word itself breaks it down into two meanings. Ki meaning ant, and va meaning dwelling. Kiva, ant dwelling. Ant symbolic meanings ki. So that's adaptable, unity, organization, preparedness, willpower, duty, endurance, community, cooperation, and diversity. Shout out to ants. One time when I was a kid, I was playing football with a friend, and I caught the ball, and I acted all cool because I landed. I threw myself on the ground. I landed into an ant pile, or an ant hill, I guess, because an ant pile would be a whole bunch of ants in a pile, right? That should be weird. It was an ant hill, and I remember them being all over my arm, so we had to like spray it down and shit. It was crazy. Shout out to A Bug's Life. Shout out to ants, which is really weird. What else about ants? Shout out to ants like my mom's sister, those kind of ants. Because who says aunts? Nobody. Moving on. So Cardinals. So shout out to the St. Louis Cardinals. Shout out to the Cardinals that I saw the other day. And this would be a short one, but I just, I had to do a little bit of justice to the Cardinals that I see. Let me take a little sip. All right. So, according to Shutter Owl Photography, many people believe that the Cardinal Bird is one of the most beautiful birds with spiritual meaning. I mean, that's fucking total opinion. So I don't know. They represent luck, manifestation, devotion, setting boundaries, loyalty. I'm not even counting. I'm just putting my hand up. And domestic harmony. I've been too close the whole time. They can also show up as messengers to encourage you to keep pushing towards your goal or give you comfort after losing a loved one. CrystalClearIntuition.com says the spiritual meaning of a cardinal, that they are mostly commonly associated with the bright red plumage and mohawk-like head. The bright red coat is the first thing people notice about the bird, and so these give an impression of importance and strength. FarmersAlmanac.com says it is common folklore that a visit from a cardinal represents a sign from a loved one who has passed. I also read one time that it represents, while this belief cannot be traced to a single origin, birds have often symbolized heavenly visitors, messengers to the gods, or even the gods themselves in feather form. That makes sense. I mean, they give angels those kind of wings when they're depicted, drawn, even though angels probably don't even have wings, but we just assume they needed them to fly. I don't know. SymbolsandSynchronicity.com says, what spiritual advice does the cardinal bring? The most important feature of the cardinal is its bright red color. This color red has a link with the root chakra. When spirit asks us to pay attention to the root chakra, be mindful of your stability and safety. Work on staying grounded and present, and get out into nature, if at all possible. Okay. So the angel number. 717. Mira, tengo cohetes. There's haters, they must respect this. You can't connect the dots with the laser beam while getting shot with the lyrical ability. Shout out to World's instability, coming through capabilities, getting higher than some fucking Tweedledees and Tweedledums, coming through getting drunk, having fun, let run. Okay, anyway. 717, according to angelnumber.org, the angel number 717 often symbolizes new beginnings in your love life. Well, that might be the beginning of a romantic. So this is interesting. The other day I turned on my phone, it was 7:07. And I was like, okay, I need to hurry up because I'm running late for work. And then the next time I looked, it was 7:17. Exactly 10 minutes. That might be the beginning of a romantic relationship, but also the renewal of love in an existing one. Well, it also has a sign of balance and stability of your relationship. People who resonate with this angel number are very home and family oriented. The secret of the tarot.com says when you receive angel number 717, it indicates that you are ready to relight the spiritual candle of your life. The angels want to assure you that doing this will provide you with the enlightenment, grace, and comfort you so much crave. Making a discovery through number 717 is a good way to get to the answers regarding your purpose on earth. According to mindfulnessinjustice.org, 717 is considered a palindromic number, which it is. It's a number that has the same meaning when the numbers are reversed. That's important because what it means for you is that regardless of the path you choose, you will always return to your true spirit and find your soul's purpose. There is no wrong path. Interesting. Sunsigns.org says that 717 has the influence of the number 7, obviously, and 1, 71, 77. Also ensure your words to everyone are kind and happy words. Angel 717 symbolism is a sign for you to change your ways, especially the words that come out of your mouth. Whoa. And you know, I'm trying to do that for 2022. For sure. Angelswhisper.org says that it's a powerful number that can be found in our lives, messages from angels or other spiritual beings. It may be a sign of opportunity to grow and gain knowledge. It is believed to come with strong energy and power, which means it could signify the ability for growth and guidance. And the last segment says that trusted psychic mediums says that 717 signifies that all your experiences in life have led you to this moment and to be the person that you are today. So don't hold on to past resentment caused by unwanted situations, because the disappointment and pain that you faced in the past have only made you a stronger person. 717. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's take one more break and we'll come back to the Badass Women in Herstory and wrap it up. Be right back. Act 3, episode 67. Higher than your average. Man, I was raised as a savage. Man, I'm always smoking out some cabbage. For the health, thank God for the wealth. Man, I understand the bigger plan. I try not to stress. I know that God always intends the best. Man, every day is a lesson. Therefore, every day is a blessing. Pray that I don't have to use a Smith & Wesson. But if I have to, I'ma blast dudes that be trying to run up and get the family. Man, I hope y'all understand me. Can't no one damn me. You ain't the devil. And if you were, man, I'll get the treble, get the bass, I get the strings, and I sing. And I let the world know what it means to be a soldier for the King. Jesus Christ paid the price. I'm feeling nice. I spit it twice. Jesus Christ, he's the King. What it do? What can you bring to the table? Man, your street cred is a fable. Man, call me Cable. I'm from the future. Shout out to X-Men. What it do, bruh? Shout out to the MCU. I'll be like, what it do? From the South. No grill in my mouth. But I'm chilling what it's about. And I be driving slow. No speeding, man, you already know. Shout out, R.I.P. to DJ Screw. And the SPN too. Alright. That was a good couple minutes of freestyling. Moving on to the badass women of herstory. So according to whyislam.org, Fatima, I always knew that as a Hispanic name, Fatima. So I'm gonna say it in Fatima Al-Fihri, founder of world's first university, Sumara Khan. The name Fatima Al-Fihri crowns the annals of history with the distinction of having established the world's first university. Yes, it was a Muslim woman who pioneered a model of higher learning, coupled with the issuance of degrees of various levels. So a Muslim woman created the idea, the concept of a university. Pantheon.world says that Fatima Al-Fihri, or Fatima bint Muhammad Al-Fihriya, was an Arab woman who is credited with founding the Al-Qarawiyyin Mosque in 859 AD in Fez, Morocco. She is also known as al-Banain. She died around 880 AD. So, where is this? I think this is Wiki. Story according to traditional accounts. Fatima was born around 800 AD in the town of Kairouan in present-day Tunisia. Let me turn this down a bit. Tunisia. Yeah, hold on, let me turn this on. Got something on over here. I'll be right back. Take a sip. Some energy drink mixed. Alright. She is of Arab Quraishi descent, hence the Nisba al-Quraishiyya, or the Quraishi one. Anyway, her family was part of a large migration to Fez from Kairouan. Although her family did not start out wealthy, her father, Muhammad Al-Fihri, became a successful merchant. When he died, this wealth was inherited by Fatima and her sister, Maryam. It is with this money that they went on to leave their legacy with. Little is known about her personal life, except for what was recorded by 14th century historian Ibn Abizar. This may be partly due to the fact that Al-Qarawiyin's archive suffered a large fire in the year 1323. Al-Fihri was married, but both her husband and father died shortly after the wedding. Her father left his wealth to both Fatima and her sister, his only children. She and her sister Maryam were well educated and studied the Islamic jurisprudence, fiqh, and the Hadith, or the records of Prophet Muhammad. Both went on to found mosque in Fez. Fatima founded Al-Qarawiyyin, and Maryam founded Al-Andalus. This idea was spurred on by the fact that due to all the Muslims fleeing like Fatima and her family, they were all gathering immigrants that were devout worshippers keen on learning and studying their faith. With as many immigrants as there was overcrowding and not enough space, resources, or teachers to accommodate them. According to Ibn Abi Zar, Fatima used the money inherited from her father to build the Al-Qarawiyyin mosque, named for the immigrants from her city. Her sister Maryam built the Andalusian mosque, named for the immigrants from the city of Andalusia, present-day southern Spain. That reminds me, on the Vikings show, when the Vikings were going past Spain, there were Muslims there in Spain at the time. It wasn't Catholic at the time. Although they started out as mosques or religious gathering places for Muslims, Fatima's community had outgrown their mosque, and she vowed to build a new and larger one. Fatima used the money she inherited from her father to purchase a mosque that was built around 845 AD under the supervision of King Yahya ibn Muhammad. She then rebuilt it and bought the surrounding land, doubling its size. The construction project was supervised by Fatima herself. As Tunisian historian Hassan Hosni Abdelwahab noted in his book Famous Tunisian Women, she committed to using only the land she had purchased. She dug deep into the land, unearthing yellow sand, plaster, and stone to use, so as to not draw suspicion from others for using too many resources. So, man, she was smart. She did it like Minecraft, like where to be safe, you dig down and just keep it interesting. The mosque took 18 years to construct. According to Moroccan historian Abdelhadi Tazi, Al-Firi fasted until the project's completion. When it was finished, she went inside and prayed to God, thanking him for his blessings. So she fasted for 18 years? That doesn't make any sense. She named it after the immigrants from her hometown of Qarawiyyin. According to tradition, Fatima's sister Maryam also founded a similar mosque in the district across the river the same year, in 859, with help from local Andalusian families, which became known as the Al-Andalusian Mosque, or Mosque of the Andalusians. Wow, so some of that it was so hard to read. A lot of that was just names, but basically this girl who grew up poor and had a sister, her dad became rich because he was selling shit. He was a merchant, and she had enough money and decided to devote it to her people and her faith in a time where they were poor and on the run. And that simple, she didn't do it to become the first university. She didn't have that plan at first, but that's what it became, from what I'm getting. All right, y'all. That was the Friday Podcast 67. Check out the Odd Pod 101, which is about to drop. I mean, I can't believe we made it to 100 episodes. At some point, I gotta make a fucking greatest hits or best of the 100. 67, we're on our way to 70, and of course we're making our way. I mean, we've been doing this for a minute, and I appreciate every single one of you. Much love. Be safe, think positive, take your vitamins, get sun when you can, meditate, and appreciate. Peace. See y'all next time.